So if you've watched my previous video, you'll remember all the really powerful features of the search function in Logos, as it allows you to search not just one ebook, but your entire library of ebooks. If you have Logos Pro, you can also use the print library catalog feature to search entries from your physical books. And right now, I want to demonstrate the power of the personal book feature. If you're like me, you have a lot of documents on your computer that you've just accumulated over the years, useful ebooks, dissertations, articles, and you have them in some kind of ebook folder on your computer. But what you can do with these is you can actually import these into Logos to use the search feature where you can cross-reference multiple different books for certain terms instead of having to search them one by one. So I'm going to go over that feature today. So what I'm going to click on over here is Tools, and I'm going to search for the Personal Books feature. Right here, I'm going to click on this. As you can see, I've already added some books. For example, I added the manuscript to my own book, which is right now an Amazon exclusive. But I took the manuscript and I imported it into Logos so that I can now not only read the whole thing in Logos, but I can search for any kind of terms, cross references, anything like that for easy access. Another thing that I've done is online, I was able to find transcripts of every single podcast that Michael Heiser recorded on his own podcast, and these were put nicely into Word document format. Logos will take that Word document format and allow me to read them. So I have a whole collection of these here so that I can click on search here. And under books, I can type in Heiser podcast because that's what it's titled, or the Heiser is the author name and podcast is part of the title. And now I can select those three ebooks, which are episodes 1 through 300, and I can search for whatever I want. I can search, when does he talk about aliens? Let's type in aliens. And I'm going to get all these search results from this personal document. And it's just very easy to use. Now, how do you add a personal book? Once you get to the personal book function, you're going to click on Add Book. You're going to enter the title. You're going to enter the author's first and last name. And you can add a picture for the cover. So I'm going to go right into the file. And let's see, I've already added these first three collections. I'm going to add the picture for this fourth one, episodes 300 to 399. So, and just 300, to 399. I've added the title. Now I'm going to enter the author's name, Heiser, Michael. You don't have to enter the copyright or description if you don't want to. And now we have to add the file. Logos will take docx files, which are Word documents, and I'm going to show you how to do this with PDF soon. But for right now, we're just working with a docx file. And then you just click on Build Book. It really only takes a few seconds as long as your Word document is in proper order. It's compiling, converting. And now I can open the book. I have it right here. And I can add it. I have the entire manuscript right here. And I can add this to any kind of search now when I do searches. So Heiser podcast. I can search across those 4 documents I have of the podcast now. Or I can search all of Michael Heiser's books, or I can simply search all of my books, period, in my entire library. And now that document will be included in it. Now, if you're like me, most of your collection of ebooks that you've added to your computer over the years are in PDF format. Unfortunately, Logos does not import PDFs, but there is a very easy way to get this to work. You will need Microsoft Word or another program that will convert PDFs to a docx format. Microsoft Word does do a very good job of doing its best to take the text from a PDF and making it scannable and searchable. So that's what I'm going to be using today. I'm going to open up my Microsoft Word, and we're going to click on Open, and we're going to browse. And I'm going to open this book. It's Rudolph Otto's The Idea of the Holy, and it is in the public domain. So like many of these books, you can find them easily on archive.org or other websites. And since I clicked on Open It, and if you've never done this before, you may have to click OK. But what Word is going to do now is open it in a way that it can scan and search all of the text, and then it will create a docx file that can be imported into Logos. So I'm going to stop the video while it does that. It can take quite a while. It can take several minutes. It can even take a half hour or more if it's a very large document. If it's a very high file size, it does take a while. So we'll pause the video now. All right, so Word has just converted this document for us. And one thing you'll notice is that it does make some mistakes. You'll see a little bit of garbling there. It uses what's called OCR, optical character recognition. And sometimes it's imperfect, especially if the original PDF has something like italics or if it has words in a foreign language. But it does a pretty good job. And when you're using the search function, it's going to be a great resource in finding stuff that you need to find. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's not as good as having a crisp ebook from the publisher, but it does a great job from taking that PDF file. So you'll see up here it says enable editing. I found that it won't typically work for me unless I click this first, and this is going to finalize that conversion process. And once that's done, we can save it as a docx file. Now that it has finished making this able to be edited, we're going to be able to click on the save here, and I'm actually going to click File, Save As, and we'll call it Auto Holy. I'm going to, let's see here, save that document. Now we're going to go over to Logos, and we're going to build our book. Go back to Tools, Personal Books, Add Book. Let's see, the idea of the holy, author name, Otto Rudolph. And these titles and names, you can fix that later if you do get that wrong. I'm going to add the file that we just created. And I don't have a picture for this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open that PDF file, and I am just going to take a screen grab of the page right here. So you can find a picture on the internet. You can add any picture you want. But for me, I'm just going to keep it simple. Screen grab this cover. I'm going to save it. And now I've got a picture that I can associate with this personal book. So I'm going to change the photo there. And now I've got that picture. So I've added everything that I need to add for this book that was originally a PDF and is now a docx file. I'm going to click Build Book. And here we go. You will see this is the poor attempt of the program to recreate the stamp that was on it. But you will see most of the stuff is going to be searchable. And we can now include this in all of our future searches. So this will be useful whether you have PDF ebooks or whether you have personal documents or even diaries, whatever you want to have that you want to be able to search and cross-reference with other books, you can do it through this method.